Hello, my name is Phil Kedge and welcome to my video blog where all my opinions and views are my own. And today I'm going to be talking about when potential clients phone me up and the first thing they say to me is that Cafcass and the courts aren't listening to me in child arrangements. Happens very often, and the first thing that comes to my mind is that, well, actually, Cafcass and the courts are listening to you. But the problem is, or the issue is that they're actually probably not very impressed with what you've actually got to say. And the reality is that they've lost patience and you've actually lost your voice to be able to speak appropriately as an adult, as a parent, reflecting the views of your child. And when people phone me up to say that the courts and Cafcass aren't listening to them, such people usually have three things in common that I'll go through one by one. The first is that they almost invariably demonise and denigrate the other side with genetic phrases. Examples: he or she is a sociopath, they're controlling, manipulative, being coercive. Even to the point where people say they've never contributed as a parent. What? You've been married for 10 years, you've got a 6-year-old son and daughter, and you're telling me that they have never contributed as a parent? Just doesn't ring true. It's not realistic. Shows you've got extreme views. It shows that you've got views that are probably bordering on the alienation side. The second common factor is that allegations of abuse. I've been a victim of domestic abuse throughout the relationship. But when I probe that, people and question it, people come back with very unspecific details, no dates, no specific incidents, and they find it quite hard to answer it, other than to say that they've been a victim of a domestic abuse, but without any real evidence. The third factor is that people just don't understand how the system works. And they actually believe that the family court system is based around a competition about who's a better parent. And it absolutely isn't. And I'm going to explain to you that there's two thresholds that the court and Cafcass looks like in terms of parenting. The first threshold is your parenting good enough? And that's the basic threshold, to be good enough. Do you provide the basic parenting to give your child warmth, shelter, love, affection, food? It's not a competition about who can provide more emotional support, who does the homework in the evenings, who's better for their physical well-being. It's not a competition. The benchmark is whether both parents actually have parenting that is good enough, and secondly, whether they present any significant risk of harm to a child. The benchmark isn't even risk of harm to the child, because sadly, Cafcass and the courts do understand, they don't accept it, but unfortunately it's a fact of life that parents, especially when going through conflict, do harm their children. And so the benchmark is set at a significant risk of harm to the children. And as long as a parent reaches both these benchmarks, then they're good enough in terms of their parenting. So what are the options when people come to me saying the courts and Cafcass aren't listening to them? And I usually say to them, well, here's your option number one. Perhaps it's time that you stopped expecting Cafcass and the courts to listen to you, but instead, perhaps it's time for you to start listening to Cafcass and the courts, because they're trying to tell you something, and you're the one, it seems to me, as if you're the one who's not actually listening to good advice from them in terms of your parenting. Option 2 is, of course, is to pay thousands of pounds for a lawyer, a solicitor, to represent your case, what you believe under your instructions, and fight to the death through the court system to the end. All you're going to do is alienate yourself further from the courts and Cafcass, because they'll just see your parenting as continually being inappropriate where you're not listening to them. Sadly, I can't help people who aren't able to reflect on their own parenting. I have an integrity clause within my business, my service, which says that I am unable to assist someone whose own behaviour and whose own course of action within the family court system is, in my opinion, likely to cause significant harm to a child. So if you want to have an honest conversation with me about how you're approaching the family court system and how your behaviour yourself may be adversely affecting your case and also may be harming your children, and you want to move on to adopt positive co-parenting and actually remove the acrimony and hatred from the family court system, and to actually accept that your ex-partner or spouse has a very important parenting role in the future with a child, that's when you can give me a call and that's when I can help you. So if that's your position, I look forward to hearing from you.